Hi there, lovely, and welcome to Let's Chat. I'm Rhonda Crimes, and I'm a certified life and leadership coach and trainer for everyday women just like you who are tired of being people-pleasing good girls, or who I prefer to call super givers. I'm here to do all I can to guide and support these beautiful super givers in my community to be able to use their voice, make their stand, and live their life their way. If that sounds like something you'd like to know more about, keep listening and don't be shy to reach out and take advantage of my offers and invitations for one-to-one and group coaching, training and mentoring opportunities, where together we'll curiously explore what is most important for you to stand for, to compassionately encourage you to speak your truth and to courageously live your life aligned to your heart's desire, with confidence and without guilt. In this episode, let's chat about how you can prioritize important over urgent. I'm really curious to understand if you feel like you're busy all the time, but you aren't quite getting the important to you things done. There always seems to be a call to take care of some crisis or other that takes you away from what was on your to-do list. You have a plan for what the day might look like, and then boom, you get a call from someone. Or a co-worker sees you sitting there and decides to just pop by and share the goings-on of the business with you. It might be that your elderly parent or your kids or your pet is poorly and you need to take care of them. Does this sound familiar? You are the go-to gal for so many others, yet your stuff is falling further and further behind, and you can't quite figure out how to change that. Do you ever find yourself being pulled in all directions to do all sorts of activities or tasks that keep you very busy, but without actually achieving truly meaningful results? Do you ever get to the end of the day and wonder what you accomplished, despite not stopping all day? Do you ever realize with a jolt what missed getting the attention that it should have at the end of a really busy day? Yep, we all have, right? What I guess is a more important thing to know is, are you always living your life this way? Or is that truly on rare occasions? I'm guessing as a super giver, it happens more often than not, because you were raised to take care of everything for everyone else. And so the discernment aspects of what you do is not as powerful as it could be. I want to help you change that with a very simple tool first proposed by Dwight Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States of America. He used this tool to help assign importance and urgency to the callings upon his daily life. Now, I'm sure the callings on your daily life can feel strong, but I'm going to assume you don't have all the codes to unleash the same consequences as Eisenhower did. Although I have experienced the wrath of a disgruntled teenager, an angry customer, a frustrated mother-in-law, a miffed co-worker, and a resentful spouse that might have made me wish I could have traded places with him in the heat of the moment. But with all of that, if a 5-star general who was also a president managed his time more effectively and efficiently using this, I'm certain you will get some benefit as well. Now, I think it's important to point out that this tool leans toward the masculine side of getting stuff done. So warrioress archetypal energy can be useful. Warrioress is one of the 5 archetypes of the mature feminine, and she provides your access to your more masculine characteristics and tendencies, that focus and drive kind of energy for task level planning and strategizing. This is a fabulous energy to be in for prioritizing in the short term, daily, weekly, and monthly, in alignment to the vision you hold for your future. The next point I want to make clear is that even though you might not be a US president or a 5-star general, you are still a leader. And this information can be, as you know, it can be a bit of a shock for a super giver, because you've come to be conditioned to believe you need to always be a follower. Nuh-uh, my lovely. If you make any kinds of decisions at any level or perform any kinds of activities or tasks on your own, you are a leader. And it starts with the most important person in your life, you. Then, of course, you might be part of a family, so you might be leading your children or your immediate or extended family. At work, it could be a team of co-workers. Maybe in your business, whether it's with employees, contractors, or volunteers, through to being a solopreneur without a team, but with clients, all the way to a hobby where you sell to family and friends and maybe run small group get-togethers or workshops. All these positions or activities still require leadership skills to a greater or lesser degree. The tricky thing for a super giver is that sometimes you will only see yourself as the worker bee. I want to remind you, even if it is only you just getting through the day, you do need to develop leadership skills and implement good strategies and tools. The skills and tools that make sure you are on track with the vision you have for your life, that you are doing the right for you activities and taking care of the things that are most important for you without the stress and burnout. What can get in the way for a super giver is becoming overwhelmed by what you believe you have to do, because saying no is difficult. Again, because you want to help people and be liked for your helpfulness. I can hear you saying, well, how can I get through that without taking on too much? Let me share the Eisenhower Matrix or grid with you. This will help you to use your resources in a way that is effective and efficient, plus not allowing the urgent to get in the way of what is most important. So let's just first off define those two words. Important. The activities or tasks that will enable you to achieve, accomplish, or realize your intentions, aspirations, needs, plans, outcomes, desires, tasks, and the consequences of all of those in accordance with your values. Use this simple test question for how important something is. Can I reach or meet my outcome, target, need, etc., and stay true to my values if I skip this activity or task? It is a simple yes or no. You don't need to elaborate. Moving on to urgent. Urgent is the activities or tasks that have a looming deadline. You know, the ones that are about to happen, that do have a consequence that may not be pleasant if they're missed. The simple test question to use here is, when is the deadline for this activity or task? I know you'll agree it's all pretty simple so far. What I do see happen, though, for super givers is allowing someone else's urgency to become their emergency, when in reality, it needn't be the case. The questions are used in conjunction with a to-do or a brain dump list, as well as for activities that can be added directly to the matrix or grid itself. I have a free Eisenhower grid for super givers download that you can access that gives you both of those capturing options to make it easier for you to answer, depending on your preference and without getting so emotionally attached to the answers. The PDF goes into much more depth around actual examples that are relevant to your work, home, and play life. I've included the link in the notes. The next step for me is to give you some details about the 4-quadrant matrix or grid that will help you determine how you will prioritize your most precious resources of time, energy, and money It looks like this. As I defined before, there are two simple questions to ask to plot them in on the grid. So now let me describe which quadrant that will be. Quadrant 1 is urgent and important. It's what you do first. These are urgent and important tasks to work on immediately. These are your crises, pressing problems, or deadline-driven activities. And because they are affecting what you consider to be important, you care about getting them done. Combined with that, they're also urgent because there is a looming deadline. But in all reality, you want to spend as little time as possible in this quadrant. So it's like the flat tire on your car as you're getting ready to leave, the call from your parent who's just remembered the appointment you have to take them to today. It's a co-worker calling in to say they won't be able to come in. It's the day before you deliver the presentation that still isn't completed. So quadrant 2 is not urgent and important. It's what you decide when to do the not urgent but important activities and then schedule a time to do them. These are where there are no deadlines and there's ample time to act on them. They are important though, and you know they will have a great impact on what it is you value. You want to be spending majority of your time in this quadrant to get the important stuff done before it becomes a crisis. This is the menu planning, shopping to the list, and meal prepping. It's scheduling in time to exercise, visit family or friends. It's documenting and creating those procedures so everyone can find and follow the way a task needs to be done at work. Quadrant 3 is urgent and not important. It's what disrupts you, so delegate it. These are urgent, but not important for you to do. So who can do it instead of you? These are usually things imposed on you by others, so not directly important to you. Or maybe what you've left go unattended for way too long that have now become urgent. You want to stay out of this quadrant as much as possible. These activities consume your resources without an appropriate gain to your life vision. It's the boss asking you to do additional duties for no compensation. It's the disconnection notice because you forgot to pay the power bill. It's the call from your friend last minute expecting you to fill in for someone who has let them down. Quadrant 4, not urgent and not important. It's what you can declutter, delete, and defer first. These are not urgent, not important, and it's okay to say no. This is home to the time wasters, trivia, and busy work. The stuff that takes up so much time, it keeps you incredibly busy, but adds no real value. It's overindulging in movies or social media. It's the unimportant calls and emails that you're sending spontaneous replies that go back and forth all day. It's the disproportionately long reward you give yourself for a short task done. So I hope by now you can see that using the first two questions and then plotting the tasks into the corresponding quadrant will give you a very emotionally detached way of prioritizing your activities while evaluating the relative value of your precious resources of time, energy, and money. I'm going to finish off by sharing a quote by Lara Hogan, who says, "Years ago, I heard someone say that leadership is about knowing which fires to let burn." And I know for a super giver, that is a sticking point because it's so easy to get stuck in quadrant 1, dealing with the spot fires and the bushfires, and then falling into the perceived rewards of quadrant 3 or seeking the escapes of quadrant 4. And then you keep putting off or running out of time to attend to quadrant 2 and the crises just keep rolling in. But the reality is, you cannot keep putting out fires. You need to develop skills to prevent them more effectively, as well as how to manage them more efficiently. Quadrant 2 is the cool quadrant. The other quadrants are simply to visit for as brief a time as possible. I know that was a lot to take in, and remember, so I've made it super easy for you by creating the free Eisenhower Grid for Super Givers PDF download that has all this info with the matrix and a dump list template in case your to-do list isn't written down. Be sure to click on the link in the notes if you'd find that helpful, and I'll send it straight to you. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Chat about how to prioritize important over urgent. I would love to invite you to take a good look at your current to-do list and check yourself using the matrix and experience the difference I know it can make for you. If you'd like any help with prioritizing, getting clear on who and what is important for you, let me know. I have my Truly Deeply You program coming out again really soon. This is where we can get right into all this great stuff. And if you get on my first in line list, you'll be the first to hear about it when it does. Because with all my heart, I want you to be able to use your voice, make your stand, and live your life your way with confidence and without guilt. Click the link in the notes to subscribe, and I will welcome you into my Super Giver community. Thanks for being here right to the very end of the episode. I hope there were just enough ahas or oh no's to be of value for you. I truly enjoyed chatting with you, and if you did too, can I ask that you share it with friends who would benefit or be interested as well? Also, for more brownie points, could I ask you to leave a comment, either reviewing it, asking for more info, or letting me know you've got other questions or topics you'd like me to cover off? Much love. Till next time.